congratulations on the win. And kind of a bittersweet day, I guess, for you, though. I mean, good performance, Mason Mount particularly with that goal. And then you lose Reece James. If I may start with Reece James and just ask if there's any update, if you're any clearer what's happened at all?
No, not really, too soon. But obviously the same area, so we're concerned. And we'll have to see over the next 24, 48 hours.
It seemed very innocuous what actually happened. We saw him just cut the ball in, then he seemed to signal that something was wrong, like a tweak or something like that. I mean, is there any particular moment that you've noticed where it's happened, or any particular fear that he may have recurred of injury?
No, at the moment it's a bit too soon, but I think there was that action that you mentioned. It's a sort of a chop, and he felt something there. So we'll just have to see how the extent of it and keep our fingers crossed at the moment.
Have you spoken to him at all since he's come off? I guess you've probably been busy, but just at one point he seemed to have his head in his hands, and it seemed like the despair was.
Yeah, he's disappointed. Of course he is. Yeah, but again, at the moment we're in a stage where we're just hoping that it isn't as bad, and we keep our fingers crossed.
Darren,
can you talk about how he's been? Because obviously it was a big blow for him to miss the World Cup, and he spoke to us pre-World Cup about how he was then. How has he been, and how big a setback is this for him?
Yeah, I mean he's been really disappointed to miss the World Cup. Of course, it was a huge blow for him. He wanted to give himself every chance to be in the squad, and you can see today with his quality what he brings to the team. So he's just had to deal with the injury and try and get back fit, and I think he's done that well. And we're taking steps, and the plan was for him not to play 90 tonight. It was to play 60, 65 minutes, which was a build-up from what he did previously. So now he's disappointed, of course, at the moment. And like I said, we just want to hope that it's not as bad as it was, and then he can get on a speedier recovery.
Just one question on something Mason said on the TV. He said that we want to be up there fighting. We're not happy with where we are. We needed this win really badly tonight. I'm assuming you echo those thoughts, that it had to be 3 points at all costs tonight, given the run of form and the failure to score in 3 games before the World Cup.
Yeah.
Can you just say that? Can you talk about, do you share those views? Can you elaborate on that?
Well, you have to always look at, I think, in 2 ways. We haven't been perfect ourselves, and we can't say that we've been playing well. The last 2 or 3 weeks, at least, of the Premier League campaign before the break, we didn't perform well, and as a result, we didn't get the results we wanted. And so, you understand all the criticism that comes your way, and you understand the pressure, and you understand the expectation, and all that sort of stuff. Of course, you can make a different conversation as well in terms of the challenges we've had and the injury problems we've had and the World Cup coming at a time, etc., etc. But they're just reasons, and we have to just balance the both and try to get a bit of perspective. You have to remember what this club's been through over a short period of time in terms of transition. It's been, I would say, very, very significant. And then you have to deal with that and try to stabilise and try to improve the team, and that's where we're at.
Just on that, the club has a lot of faith in you. The ownership will be very clear about the fact that they're willing to back you, regardless of what happens this season. Sometimes fans cannot maybe understand what the club are trying to do, what you're trying to do. Would you hope that they can understand the path that the club are trying to take and the vision that they have?
Well, of course I hope they do, but I can also understand when we're not playing well and things don't look as good as they would like, that of course everybody gets frustrated. I understand that. And they'll, I'm not naive. There'll be people that go, he's not good, or he's not this, or he's not that. That's happened throughout my career. I'll go out to Östersund and you go on a website in the first 18 months and Potter was rubbish. So that's normal. And there'll be people in this room that will think the same. But I could probably give you a lot of evidence to suggest the otherwise. So thankfully they have the similar opinion, and there's been a lot of support out there for me in terms of interactions I've had with our supporters that understand the situation we're in and very, very supportive. But I'm not naive. Like I said, we haven't been perfect, so we have to accept any criticism that comes our way when we don't get the performances and the results that you want here.
Adam.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
After Reece went off, the performance seemed to lose its way a little bit. Was that just because of maybe the mental impact of seeing Reece go off, or was it just losing him as a presence on that side, or was maybe something else?
I think it's probably a bit of everything. I mean, Reece was playing well and he's a top player. I mean, as much as we think coaches are magicians, believe you me, if you've got top players, it makes the coach's job a lot easier. And you could see the quality that Reece brings down that right side in the first half especially. And then to see him go off, I think probably affects the stadium, it affects the team, it affects everything. Not that that's an excuse, but we're human beings as well, and he's someone that we care a lot about, and there's going to be a little bit of concern and worry, and I think that's quite natural, especially with the results that we've had, and you want to try and hold on to your win, and I think that affected our performance in the second half.
Tom.
Graham, can you just describe how important Reece is to what you want to do with Chelsea and how important he is to the team? Because of course when you came in you were on a great run before that AC Milan game, and of course, and it's happened before with when he had his injury at AC Milan. It happened before when Chelsea lost him under the previous manager. Form suffered a little bit.
Well, I think Reece is a world-class player. Like, you see it from the outside, and it's not until you work with him you realise how good he is. He's an incredible player. So he would fit into any team in the world. He could play in any team in the world. So any team would miss him.
Okay, last question in this section. Gary.
Graham, hello.
Hello, sorry.
Sorry, January just a few days away now. I'm sure you'll be in the market for some players. Benoit Badiashile seems to be the closest Monaco young central defender. Any thoughts on him?
Well, unfortunately my answer is I don't speak about anybody that's not a Chelsea player. There's lots of people get linked to this football club, and I'd be wasting mine and your time if I responded to everyone. I always say that the club's responsibility is to try to improve the team in every window. That's every club. But my job is, as the head coach, to try and improve the players that we have here and to improve the team. So that's what I'll be focusing on.